Good night and welcome back to the SOWK 3012 News at Home. We thank you for joining us tonight as we cover top stories across the globe. For our first segment tonight, we have partnered with the Ministry of Health in dedication of World Mental Health Month in order to bring awareness to self-help groups. For tonight's feature, we focus on relapse prevention groups with the Minister of Health herself, Dr. Priya Sagam, along with clinical psychologist Dr. Saida Ali and social worker Dr. Rohit Rupnarayan.
No man is an island and we need to normalize asking for help. Self-help groups are increasingly popular and are often successful in helping individuals with certain social and personal problems. These groups focus on social advocacy, creating alternative patterns of living, problem intervention, and most importantly, support. Specifically today, we will be looking at relapse prevention groups. Today with myself is a social worker and a behavioral psychologist who will be assisting me with this segment. I will now pass you on to our social worker, Rohit.
What is relapse prevention, you may ask? Well, a relapse prevention group is a supplement to existing treatment to address problems of self-control, but in a group setting. Relapse prevention is not an intervention per se, but rather a structured aftercare regimen to assist in the maintenance of treatment gains as a support group to prevent future relapse.
We have an incoming video caller.
Good night. So my grandson was telling me something about this. And I just want to know who come up with this term.
Yes, caller. Our behavioral psychologist Saida will be responding to your question.
Relapse Prevention Group was created by Gordon Allen Mallet, a clinical psychologist. Allen was a professor of psychology at the University of Washington, where he also founded and directed the Addictive Behaviors Research Center and Dr. Judith Gordon.
We are currently receiving another incoming video caller.
Oh gosh, them blasted people again playing the loud music. Hello, you can hear me? You can hear me? What is the purpose of relapse prevention? Because I will relapse and go and beat up some people this early morning. Them loud music.
The purpose of relapse prevention group is to prevent recovering drug or alcoholic addicts from having any possible relapse. It helps the members to not only identify possible triggers that can disrupt their recovery, but also teaches them healthy responses to these triggers. These groups are also available if recovering addicts start showing signs and symptoms of relapsing or having thoughts about it.
So, relapse prevention therapy. This group have any therapeutic purposes?
The process of recovering from drugs and alcohol begins with your decision to seek treatment so that you can learn how to manage the underlying causes of your addiction. So the psychodynamic factors that predispose an individual to substance abuse are the factors which are found to be involved in relapse. So this type of therapeutic approach, relapse prevention therapy, strikes to make the individual aware of his or her addictive behaviors and what his or her triggers are. The goal here is not to completely diminish the addictions and the chances of relapse over a few sessions, but to create a strategy to help each individual cope with these high-risk situations in advance. This is known as relapse prevention plan. This approach is extremely useful and can summarize emotions that are common triggers for relapse. For example, hunger, boredom, and loneliness. This in itself is unique as it focuses on relapse in a holistic view.
So now we will be looking at how to address relapse prevention. So firstly, one's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors leading up to during, and right after a craving or use. Secondly, finding an inner safe space by participating in exercises designed to center and calm the individual, as well as increase their self-esteem, building resilience and self-confidence. It allows each member to talk about his or her negative and positive thoughts as they arise. These activities also allow individuals in recovery to disengage from the adverse thoughts and feelings that ever so often disrupts their recovery. It also serves to help members understand their warning signs and create core support systems. Lastly, it allows a space to connect with other members who have endured similar challenges, which according to Rehab Spot 2020 is critical for recovery. Love and belongingness are a human's most basic needs. Connection encourages social, physical, mental, and emotional contact and healing, along with the motivation for transformation.
There are many options to treat relapse prevention therapy. These include behavioral counseling, long-term follow-up to prevent relapse. Cognitive behavioral therapy is also used and is one of the most widely used forms of treatment for addiction recovery. In terms of medical use, to treat alcoholism, diasulfiram is used and it acts as a deterrent against alcohol relapse until the body neutralizes the medication. Or other options like naltrexone or acamprosate are used. Also, becoming involved in peer groups such as Alcohol Anonymous. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of tonight's segment. We thank you to the Ministry of Health for partnering us for World Mental Health Month and to the members of the public who participated. Please remember that it is important to seek help when suffering, and prevention is always better than cure. Thank you for joining us once again, and do have a good night.